Hello everyone, this is Maria from mariascraftingcorner.com. Welcome and thank you for being here with me today. Today's video is a little bit different from our regular videos. First of all, it's a pre-recorded video, and second of all, it's going to be what I'm going to call a hybrid video. There's going to be a time, like right now where I am chatting with you. Part of it is going to be also voiceover. I will need to speed up the video in some areas. And this is why I have been thinking that some of the videos I do, especially for the lives, I have everything pre-cut, pre-colored, pre-blended, like most of those tasks that are time consuming, I have them already, so our video does not last 3 hours, right? And I think that makes a lot of sense, especially for the lives, of course. But a part of me feels that we really miss some of those things, meaning those processes are how we get to the actual card, right? So we're missing those steps, if you want to call them, to get to the card. And so I said, yeah, you blend this way, or you emboss this way, right? And I know most of you are good at embossing and are good at blending or coloring or whatever, but I do get asked every now and then, oh, how did you get to do that? I don't know, that blending sky, or how did you get to do that coloring, right? So I figured it would be a great idea to make a video where I include some of those steps as well. And of course, like I mentioned, most of the time they're time consuming, so we're going to speed up the video at parts. As most of you know, I have said this in previous videos, I love the Kindest Gnomes. They belong to the mini catalog for Stampin' Up. And if you don't know, I am a independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And if you want any of our catalogs, that's my email, maria@mariascraftingcorner.com. Send me an email and let me know that you want the catalog. Which catalog, both catalogs, just let me know and I will send them to you for free. And while I'm at this, so go ahead and visit my website and check out on the rewards. You're going to love free products, and that's part of my rewards. So go and check them out. And while you're at it, also subscribe to my newsletter so you get all the notifications and all the news about Stampin' Up and what I'm working on and posting on the website. Let me remove that because I found out that it's on the way when we are working. So let me move down to the crafting table and go. I forgot that step. Okay, so I am going to bring here the mini catalog. And as you can tell, in page 43 is where we have the Kindest Gnomes. We are going to be using today only the dies. I love these dies. I love this suite. These gnomes are probably my favorite, or some of my favorite here in this mini catalog. This suite brings beautiful paper. The paper is gorgeous. Some back gems. It brings this beautiful ribbon, but these gnomes are to die for. Let me move them a little closer. Aren't they super cute? The same as always, the dies cut some of the stuff in the paper. So for example, the little mushroom home, we have a mushroom home page here that you will be able to cut with the die, and same as some of the gnomes you'll be able to cut. So I absolutely love that from Stampin' Up. I know you guys know. Okay, so we are going to be using the Give It a Whirl. So let me remove some of the stuff here. We're going to be using the Birthday Piggy because I want to talk to you guys about these dies. These dies will be available only through the month of September. So you need to go ahead and get them. I know I've said this 100 times. Stampin' Up is really, really awesome about dies. I feel that it's impressive the amount of dies they include in their sets. So these will not only cut, you know, the 3 piggies here, which is okay, great. It has banner, it has gifts, it has a bird, half a fish. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Some confetti, leaves, the little wagon. It has grass, which I absolutely love. It has flowers. I mean, again, the whole shenanigan, right? I absolutely love it. Let me show you real quick. I like very much that you can create your own stencil. Just run your die and get it going. So this looks like this. So I create my own stencil to be able to use on if I just want to stencil on, and I'll stencil the grass in, and I'll show you one of the cards I made has it. So this one you put in, this one to color. I mean, it's just perfect. I have to say it's perfect. So what you would do in this case is you put this one and then you color, and when you're coloring the sky, then you can put this one on top of it, and then you can color the sky without messing with your grass. I hope that makes sense, but that's a little gift. You can create your own stencils when you don't have, you know, other stencils for that sense. I have created that for my clouds too, and this is from the basic borders, and I use them all the time. So just wanted to put those out there for you. This belongs here. We're going to be using from these mainly the wagon, of course the wheels. For some of the others, I did use the leaves and the flowers. I have 3 more cards to show you guys, so stick around. But beautiful, beautiful, don't hesitate, go ahead and get them. I will also be using, of course, for the Give It a Whirl piece. And let me show you, and I have some pieces. It's a little disorganized right now, but here it is. So I got this set. It was one of the first sets I got when I became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I absolutely love it. Okay, now it looks better, huh? So the first thing I want to talk about is it's this piece. This would be the front piece of the card, and I have one here so you guys have kind of get an idea. This piece brings a little piece of the die here, right here, and I took that off. Well, I didn't take that off. My husband took it off for me, and he just really did a great job. And I created this fake line in here just as a guide. If you can tell, I'm gonna put this up. I even have a couple of draw a couple of dots in there where I can put my as a guide for my other piece in here. Okay, and that will tell me where I can put this piece as a guide. Again, I created this panel before I cut that so I could see where it had the hole, and that's one of the reasons. So there were 2 reasons why I didn't like this, the little horizontal piece in here, and it was one because it left the mark when you went over it with the embossing machine, the cut embossing machine. It kind of left the mark on the cardstock, and I didn't like it. And the second thing is that it had a hole in it, but that definitely did not work well for me because I could not because you know, then you have to figure out how to cover it, right? And I don't like that idea. I want like a clean slate. I don't have to figure out, oh, I have to put a flower there or a butterfly or a gem or anything, right? What if I don't want to put anything? So I just took it off, and that was my solution, was creating these, putting a little dot there, and that would be my guidance. So we're going to cut these together so you kind of see what I did. Let me show you a couple of other things I have. So I created stencils for all the pieces that we use to create a little window, and here it is, and they're so hard to see. Let's see if I bring my silicone craft sheet. It's a little bit easier. Maybe that makes it easier a little bit. Okay, why did I do that? I'll explain it later when I am actually creating the Christmas card. So you guys are gonna laugh. I started the video, had to stop, and then started the video again. And guess what? I didn't start the video, but I did go ahead and create most of the card. But I'm going to guide you through it in the Christmas card. So we're going to go kind of move faster now on the Halloween card because most of it's already done. But we'll do it together for the Christmas card. I'm sorry about that. I did not realize that it was stopped. That sucks. So I'll show you though how I use this little template because it's really useful when you are creating when you're stamping on the little wheel. And this is the wheel, and I also have a little template on it, and I'll show you how I use it later as well. Okay, so I am going to bring now a piece of paper, and I'm going to show you how I use this. Let me move that out of the way, bring this. So in our case, wrong side, in our case, I'm going to use the round one because this is going to be the moon. And like I said, sadly, it is already done because I did that, but we're going to work it together. And so what I do is I bring some of my Post-it tape. You guys, if you don't have it, go ahead, follow the link below and get it. And I'm going to go ahead and bring my embossing machine. And we're going to emboss a couple of things. Okay, let's go ahead and put that there, and we are going to go through. For some odd reason, it's rebellious, but I'm just going to run with you of how I did the background, and then I'll explain a little bit. That was not the intent of the video, but well, God had other plans for me today. I am going to move these a tiny bit back this way. Sorry, guys. And I'm going to bring a piece. Let me move back. A piece of mossy meadow, and bring that grass. And I know this is, a piece that it's already used, but we're going to cut a tiny piece in here. We're going to go through it, and we don't need a whole lot. That's good enough. And what we're going to do as well is we're going to use, let me move this bit. We're going to use that same, right? This same die. So I'm just going to undo this real quick. Okay, there we go. It really likes to get sticky. And I am going to move these as is in here. And we're creating our little piece. But this way, it will stick to the dimensions of our initial piece, right? Of this piece. It will stick to this. So it will be much easier to put it in. So, again, it's a little rebellious, but that's all we need. Oops, Jesus, okay. So now, let me show you. And here is our piece, and what I was telling you is that now it fits perfectly in here, and we don't have to cut anything, right? Great tip, don't forget about it. I'm gonna bring this is the piece I was using before because why not? But I'm going to bring these, and we're going to blend a little bit of the mossy meadow on it. And this is a dark night, right? We're talking about Halloween, so I'm going to bring some mossy meadow. It's color on color, and we're not going to really see a whole lot of change in this piece, but oops, we're going to move that. And I'm going to bring a little bit of soft suede to make it a little bit scarier. I am looking for my brown. We're going to use this. Oh, no, that's my yellow. What am I thinking? Okay, here's my brown. So I'm going to bring some soft suede in here to kind of darken it a tiny bit. Because again, it's the night, and so we're just trying to make it as dark as possible with our inks. Now, lastly, I'm going to bring our evening green, which is a really, really dark green. And we're going to go for it in some areas just to create, again, some darkness in it. Okay? And now we have our little grass piece. And look at my fingers. Not very elegant looking. Let me remove these out of the way. Now, let's work with this. And I'm going to show you what I did for the other one. One quick thing. We will need these circle for later, so I'm just going to put it in there and save it and put this in a safe place so I don't lose it. You know, guys, once I thought I lost it and I actually found it. So for the panel, I use fresh freesia. This is gorgeous grape. I use cherry cobbler and then some orchid oasis. And we'll finalize with some basic gray and memento black in. Okay, let's start with the fresh freesia. Let me bring my blending brush. We're going to go real quick in here, and we are going to start on the moon. And actually, we're going to start outside of the moon, on the skirts of the moon. Let's call it like that, because we need to respect that halo of the moon, right? So we're going to leave as much as possible that white, and then just go ahead and you can keep going down, but not there by the moon. And I'm going to move that there, bring the red, and this is a cherry cobbler. Remember that that color is super strong. So we are going to go ahead, softly go around it. It is a really strong red. And now we're going to bring our gorgeous grape. And we're going to start blending this. And this gorgeous grape is going to go over that red. I'm going to bring a little bit more red. And you just can create whatever you want. We're creating a quote-unquote spooky sky. I'm bringing some of that fresh freesia here. Okay, now this looks scary, don't you think? I absolutely love how it looks. Again, I'm trying to be mindful of not coloring around it too much because we're trying to leave that halo area. Okay, now I'm bringing a little bit of the red without inking, and not that one, some of that gorgeous grape. We created that grass, so that's going to go here, so I'm not very worried about how that piece looks. Now I'm going to bring our orchid oasis to give it a little bit of an extra bluish to it, blue tint. And I want to go here and softly go around that moon. Again, focusing on creating that scary moon, right? Or scary night, not moon. Moon is not scary. And finally, what I did for the last panel is I brought some gray, basic gray. I'm going to move these out of the way and go with it over. And that is the magic ingredient, I think, if you want to call it somehow. It's the darker, the basic gray and the black, because it gives it the feel of the moon, right? I mean, of the night. I keep saying the moon. The moon comes at night. So yeah, it gives you that enough darkness to create the night, I guess. And then finally, I'm going to bring the Memento Tuxedo Black and go around those edges to kind of really darken that gray and create that moon. Now this looks super spooky as is. I got some water, I got a sprayer and spray all over. I brought a piece of a piece of a rag. It's just a rag that I have around. It had fallen, and put it on. Now I did also do some splatter of white and splatter of black using the Memento Tuxedo ink on a block. So I just put it in here, put the white in here, and splash. And I'm not going to use the white just because it takes a little bit, but this is kind of what I did. So there's the black, right? Put a little bit of water, and then we'll bring a brush and we're going to brush it in. And that's exactly how I created the other one. So now I have two spooky night backgrounds that I will have to use for something else. And I always just go ahead and clean these so there's no danger. So this is the one I created initially that you guys didn't see it because I thought I was videotaping and it was not. Out of the way, move this very dirty piece of paper out of the way. I have already created, because again, this piece, but I am going to explain what I did. So I'm undoing this real quick. Okay, so this is the wheel. I show it to you that it's made with this die here, and I had die cut earlier from the Scary Cute stamp set, and I actually am using the dies as well. So from the bundle, I had cut these. So I had cut these little bats and put them in. Now, this is where those templates work really well. That's better. A tiny bit. So this is just a piece of acetate that comes with the stamps. I just always save them because I know I'm going to use them somehow. And I created just a circle. And why do I create that? Because now I can put the circle here. What I do is I put this, and then I have exactly where that circle is going to be, which means that I will be able to center it well within the window. So it helps really, really well to keep in within the area that you're going to be able to see when the wheel is moving. So for these, as you can tell, it has a little bit of blending. So I didn't re-ink my blends, my brushes, and I used the fresh freesia first, a little bit of the gray, and then a little bit of the Orchid Oasis. And I just created that. And why did I create that? Because our moon is not white, right? It's not. This is how it's going to work. Now, what is this? So let me show you this way. I put these die cuts there. So when this goes, this may get stuck in there and not move forward. The solution to that, so you can use whatever you want in the wheel, is getting a piece of acetate. There it goes. You just die cut it using that same die cut, and then this will create a panel that will allow this to move swiftly. Lastly, from that leftover circle, I just punched a piece in the middle. I just punched a hole with my take your pick, put it in here, and now I'm using a brad. I am not sure if Stampin' Up still selling these brads. If they are not, I will link to Amazon. I have a combination of Stampin' Ups. This Stampin' Ups is really small. And I love it because it's small. And this will be our mechanism. Okay. Now I am using our black dimensionals. I absolutely love them. So, and this will be how the wheel goes. So, this is a black piece, or a piece of black cardstock, sorry, that measures 8.5 by 5.5, score 1 1/4. This piece measures, I believe, is 3 3/4 by 5 1/8, if I'm not mistaken. So this does not fit like exactly with it. I'm not sure why it has that measurement, but this layer, which is from our Halloween paper pack, is just 1/8 smaller. So this layer is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Okay. I had also, unfortunately, already colored these, and we'll color the Christmas one together, and the beard for our gnome. This beard was made using our gray granite and just a lifter. Now we are going to work finally on the nose, and we're just going to use 2 colors for that, and I'm just using light combo for the skin tones. So, and I'm going to show you here, sometimes when you color like this, one of the tips, it's lighter. And let me show it to you here. You can see it. So this part is a little bit lighter. So I'm going to start with this area then. So I'm going to go all over, and I'm not going to color on the end here because that's going to be the lightest. And then I'm going to bring this one, which is a little darker, right? And go over that one like so, just almost on the edge. And let me zoom a tiny bit so you can see what I'm doing. And now I'm going to get the other one and go over that like that. And that's how we pull these colors in. And then finally go over like so. Okay, so I'm going to bring again this one a tiny bit. And that's the beauty of alcohol markers, right? That's why I love them so much. You go back and forth until you get the color you want. Now, if you notice, I am very softly going over there. So let's put this front together. I have filled this out with Tombow. You can tell there's not a whole lot in it. So I have decided I'm going to stick to this. Now we're going to glue this front in here, and I am going to clean that and bring my silicone craft sheet. So, and this is the nose. So we're going to go and put it, I put it on top. You can put it underneath. I like it on top. Don't ask me why, but I like it on top. And we are going to put this here. So this is our Nomi. And I absolutely love him. He's so freaking cute. And I have a blue. It's just designer series paper. You can use whatever you want. And I think it's going to look great against this. Right? We need something that really kind of stands out. And I put my glue in there, almost like so, because this is going to go on top like that. And this is where this silicone craft sheet is. Magic, magic, magic. It helps us keep our work surface clean. So let's put this card together. Record. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to glue these pieces to here. And the way to do this is really focus on where this is at and make sure you put this in the right place. And I think that's going to be the right place. I'm going to put this, so I'm going to make sure kind of that each one fits. But the one that I'm most concerned is the Halloween Happiness, because it's a little bit bigger. So I'm going to make sure that that fits and out of it. So there it goes. I think that that looks awesome. And now I'm going to take off these. And I'm going to keep holding and align. And just, and this is what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm going to open these. I'm going to keep holding, right? Because we want it to stay exactly there and align. And I'm putting it this way because I need to see this edge and this edge. These two edges have a bigger gap. So we have to really make sure that it's aligned in both, or center in both ways. I think this will do. And that's it. So we were able to glue that, and that's how it rolls. Isn't that super cute? Okay, let's bring our pieces. So I have, this is the one unfortunately you didn't see me coloring it, but you'll see me coloring the Christmas one. So I am not super sad about that. Okay. Now I'm gonna put that one. Uh-oh, my mistake. First thing we need to put in is the grass. So we're gonna glue the grass. This is such a lovely set. And now we're going to glue the little wagon. Right? Okay. There it goes. So I had already cut the cat. This is die cutted. And I used some green to put in his eyes just for fun. The cat is going to go inside the wagon. This is going to be our Nomi. We have a few other things. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like we'll be able to put this one anywhere. So we're not going to use that one. I have, let's see, and I have a quote-unquote cauldron that I created from a circle die. And this I just cut measuring. And this is our cauldron, quote-unquote. And I'm just going to put some glue around here, actually. And this piece on top. And that's our cauldron, you know. Now, our Nomi is going to go in with some dimensionals, of course. And you guys know I like my dimensionals. So, there it goes. He's going to go in here, and then we'll have the cauldron right next to him. And I'll put the cauldron last. I love that these dimensionals are so easy to take the backing off. So we'll put him in here, and then we'll put the cauldron behind him like that. Maybe on top is better. And so we'll need dimensionals on this side. We'll just put some glue in here. And this is going to go there like so. So that's our cauldron. Okay, so this is the base of our card. I do have a couple of other bats that I'm going to put in here. There we go. Like that. We need some bling bling, because you guys know I like it. I was thinking that maybe these purple ones will be fun. So I'm just going to put one like on the wheel there, and maybe one on there. Just take your pick. Maybe easier. And one there. Yeah, and there we go. So that is our card. These gems belong to, they're called glossy dots assortment. So the next step is putting these in here. Now, and I'm just going to remove this, and you guys are going to have a blast. I'm going to remove this, and we're going to use this area. Now that's working. So let's bring our scissors here. I just want the line straight, and I'll tell you why, because it looks much more finished. Okay, let's see. I'm going to put this little dimensional that came up with us there. So we're going, let's see, this is the back. And here's where the other template works really well. So I have this template, so I can put it in here, kind of put it where it should go, because we cannot put any dimensionals closer to this or it will not run smoothly. So I'll just put it there, get, you know, a post-it tape. That's more or less where it goes. And then I know where I don't have to put any dimensionals. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this one here. It's a tiny bit bigger. And because of the darkness of the background, it needs to be black, right? If you have other black tape, that's fine. I just use the backends of these pieces, which I would anyways use. Let's face it. And we're just going to do this again very carefully for the top in a line. So now when you see these, you just see a whole black thing instead of little pieces, right? And it will have holes in it. It just looks weird to me. And I'm going to do this again. Just grab a tiny piece. Grabbing a couple of them because we can put enough in here. As you can tell, this allows us for some space in there. As long as it's there and our wheel can still, you know, it's not touching that area, it will work. And we're going to go back in here, grab another couple of pieces, and we are going to put a piece, kind of the same thing. As long as it's not touching, it will fit. Obviously, I did not calculate that super well, so we are going to do it double. So it's cheaper in a way, right? Some people, when they're doing this, they just can't. They have to double side this. Now comes the last piece, which is putting this again centered. I think that works. That's working. Then we push. And that is our Halloween card. See how cute that is? I love it. What do you guys think? Okay, I'm back. I was cleaning my desk from all the Halloween stuff. I showed you earlier how I placed this and this together to go through the cut embossing machine. And I also explained why I used these instead of the piece that it brings. So we're going to remove this at this time slowly because we don't want it to mess up. I'm going to throw that away. I don't think I'm going to use something like that today. And so I'm just going to get rid of it. And here is our front part. Okay, just putting this away. We are going to also ink blend this, but before we ink blend this, we are going to do what's called resist embossing. And so what does that mean? That means we're going to use some Versamark ink. We're going to create some snow. I got these from the Caroline Mice stamp set. That is our host a mini catalog stamp set that you can get for free if you host a party. So let me know if you're interested. Again, Maria and Maria's Crafting Corner, but it brings the snow, and we're going to use this snow and here to create, you know, some fun. First thing we do is we're going to use our little pillow, I don't know how it's called really, to just help the Versamark ink stay where it needs to stay and the powder stay where it needs to stay. And if you don't know, the mini embossing, the mini catalog offers these embossing additional tool. It's absolutely worth it. You are going to love it. I love it. Let's go ahead and do this. The snow is the snow. It doesn't have, you know, how would you call it? There's no right or wrong way to do this. I am not seeing really what I'm doing, as you can tell. And I'm going a little bit below, although I have mountains. Okay. And now I'm going to bring my embossing powder. I keep it like this. And I'm doing resist emboss because sometimes when you want to do the embossing on top of blended or cardstock, we have to give it a minute or two for it to you know, for us to be able to do it because it's too wet. I think that will do. Let's remove these, and we are going to now bring our heat embossing, and we're going to heat emboss this. My suggestion to you is start on the back because paper can get burnt, right? So start on the back while it heats up. There are some that are already embossed and some are not. And you can tell because the non-embossed ones look opaque. Once it's embossed, it looks shiny, shiny, shiny. That's how you tell what's been embossed and what's not. Okay, thank you. I know that is loud. And we are going to use the other side. Okay, and now we're going to bring, it's a different combination. So I'm going to bring mint macaroon. I mean, this is not mint macaroon, soft succulent, because why not? I'm going to bring the mint macaroon, and I'm going to bring some pool party. And I know this sounds a little crazy combination. I'm going to start with the pool party. And so my idea for these cards, I'm going to have some of the mountains that, and it's time to let you know, the Yeti to Party is a stamp set that comes in the mini catalog. Now, for the month of September, just as the Piggy Party, it brings dice, and I absolutely love them. Same as the others, brings so many other options. It brings hearts, which is here. It brings the mugs. It again, I am loving it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. It's absolutely worth it. And I am going to be using the die cuts for the mountains in here and others, but I'll show you here in a minute. Okay, so oops, wrong one. I'm going to start with the pool party, and I'm going to go lower just in case, right? And we're just creating a winter scene. Now we're going to go with the mint macaroon. Still a lot of green in there. Okay, I think we got it. We're going to go with the mint macaroon. And I'm going to go, and I'm actually going to use this one. I don't think I have another one for the soft succulent. That's going to help us kind of close what I really wanted to do. Okay. And bring some of that mint macaroon back. I'm sorry, soft succulent back. And we're just creating like a really wintry scene. I think the mint macaroon was the one that really messed this up a little bit. So to help these a tiny bit, because I'm going to bring a little bit of the Coastal Cabana to help make this a little more skyish. Some of the fresh freesia. Let's see if this helps. This is going to help turn it a little bit purpley. There we go. I think I'm liking this a little bit better. Thank you, fresh freesia. One of my favorite colors. I know I've said that tons of times. So it's getting like into a cloudy winter night, don't you think? That's what it looks like. I think so. Lesson to be learned: be mindful of the brushes you have and if they are clean or not. I am actually thinking of putting, since we're mix and matching here, I'm going to put a little bit of these Orchid Oasis. Because now we're going to bring our little rag and I'm going to clean on it, and our white is going to stay white. I don't know if you can see it. Isn't that awesome? I'm going to bring all my pieces here. There's a lot of them, of course, same as always. I always try to get them all here. Okay, so I have a piece of soft succulent. It is soft, yes, soft succulent, measuring the same 8.5 by 5.5, and a piece of the most beautiful snowflake vellum that we have. I love this piece that is going to go in here, and so this is going to look awesome on top of this piece. It's just going to be super cute. I'm going to bring this one, which has the mint macaroon, and then I'm going to bring the Orchid Oasis. I am not going to heat emboss this because I want to be able to, like, really whatever I put so you can really see it. But maybe I'm going to bring some of that fresh freesia. Okay, so we are going to do this, and you were not able to see what I did in the Halloween one. So I'm using, this is a soft soy combo, and this is, I think it's the medium tone, light medium tone from the Skin Tones. And this is going to be the lightest, and you always start with the lightest. And I'm just going to like go over a very, what would be, like, you don't have to be really mindful. That's one of the beauties of coloring die cuts, right? And now we're going to bring the darkest of them all, and we're going to go over that and kind of do the same thing, right? Not all the way. Okay, and now I'm going to bring, and if you notice, I always leave some uncolored area because that is what's going to help us do the blending look. Really lighter areas. So here, this is the lightest of the soft suede, and I'm going to go ahead and go and on top. You always have to go on top of the dark, and kind of moving towards the center of this piece. And now with the lightest of them all, I'm going still on top of it, but coloring it all. So still on top of the darker area. If you just go with it on the lighter area, then it may not blend well, but this creates that magical blending. I love it, and that looks absolutely stunning. Now we are going to put, I have my little wheels in here, so let's go ahead and glue those. And I'm going to bring my silicone craft sheet instead of getting glue all over my base. I'm going to color a tiny bit more here. Again, if you're going to go, you have to go all over, so that darker stays and maintains the darkest area. Otherwise, make them more similar in tone, right? So I started a heel. Why did I not cut it in here? I'll show you why, because I need to really calculate how tall this needs to be. So these are our mountains. Let me see, I have 4 mountains, so I'm going to place my mountains. So I'm going to place the big ones first, and then on top of them I'm going to place this one, but this needs to be below these little mountain. I'm creating little hill, right? And that's why I'm calculating. And this last one, and this is not how it's going to look, but I just need to kind of grasp to kind of get an idea of where I need to cut. And so turn it over and make a mark. Why am I making this mark? Because as we did with our previous card, we're going to use this to align these and cut it. Our piece of snow, quote unquote, will be the exact same width as this area, right? And I love that. I love that you can do this, and then you have stitch all around and keep like that continuity. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these little mountains here, and using, this is the one that has some orchid oasis, I'm just going to go ahead, and it's really light blending. I'll show you why. Well, when you see mountains, they always don't look just white, right? They have some color to it. But these mountains on top of it all have little caps, and we're going to glue those caps, and we're just trying to create that differentiation between the caps and the mountain. And I'm just going to put it in here, bring my cap, my mountain cap, and put it around there. And now you'll have that all white. We are going to, I'm just going to place it right a little bit higher. There it goes. Okay, so we're going to bring this back, and now we're going to get this glued together. So I can use that as a guide. There's one, and I'm going to put the other big one first, and then I can put the others, and there's another one. Going back to measure this. Yes, I'm going to be able to see them. I'm actually able to move this one a tiny bit up here, it seems. So I'm putting this a little bit higher. Part of the issue is I don't want anything to be on the little window, of course. Okay, let's go, while that gets dry, let's go ahead and work on this piece. And for this one, I had die cut a couple of gifts, right? And we're going to put some Christmas gifts in here. So, although I did made a template for it, if you want, the opening is exactly this opening. I don't know, let me see, here it is. So when you die cut this makes an impression, so you're able to see here that opening, which is the exact opening of these die. Let me see if I can show it to you. See, so it's much easier to put the stuff because you know exactly where they're going to be seen, right? Let's put in some extra glue in there. And I have another small one. Whoops, let me bring one here. Okay. So we're gonna have some gifts in there. Like that. Okay. Now we're going to stamp. And we are going to use here our Yeti to party. And I think I'm going to go with Is It Christmas Yeti. Because that's the advantage of this bigger one, is that everything fits. And so we can just go ahead, align it there. And I want this, I think I'm going to go with our succulent. Soft succulent. Okay, let me get this in here. I'm going to try it in here because I have not used this one, I don't think. Maybe I have, I don't know. But I'm just making sure it's all okay. I'm moving this here. I'm probably going to put my big head on, you know. And there it is. Is It Christmas Yeti? Don't you just love that? And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to bring, there you go, some of these big snowflakes. And we're going to stamp in there. And I am thinking, do I want them embossed? I think I want them embossed. So I'm going to move these out of the way. Bring our embossing. Okay, so we're going to go bring our powdering tool. I don't know how you call it really. Our pillow. I'm going to bring this beautiful, beautiful. They are gorgeous. This, and I'm really going to put one lower on the lower side. And then I'm going to bring the other one and put it on the higher up side. Okay? Beautiful. They are gorgeous. Let me put all this out of the way. I'm going to bring again our white embossing powder. Go and get it all over there. And I even think it's going to need a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to put another bit in here, even if there. Okay, and again, just like we did before, we're going to heat emboss this. You're going to hear the noise. This is going to take a little less because this is already a little warm. But it always takes about 5 seconds. Or maybe 10 seconds to really warm up. And now you're going to see it coming alive. And I think you're going to love it. Let's see. Oh my goodness in heavens. Isn't that gorgeous? So we have 3 gifts. Is It Christmas Yeti and some beautiful, beautiful snowflakes. Okay, so going back to what we talked in our Halloween one. I also die cut another piece of acetate. You can't see it here, but there you go. To put on top of here, so my gifts do not, stop the motion. And I'm going to bring another brad in here. There it is. And like I mentioned, I'm not sure if Stampin' Up still selling them. I don't see why they would stop, but I have a previous circle that I cut, and I am just really pushing in here, and this is going to go in here, and this is what is going to help that mechanism rotate. Okay. And like we did in the other one, we're going to use, in this case, Y dimensionals to get this going all the way. I always put 3 of them. And that will get stuck. Make sure that it's within the smaller circle. So this helps, this is stuck, but then it won't stop the rotating motion. Okay. And just like we did before with the other one, we're going to organize this really well where it needs to go, which is right there and right there. And we're going to align here. So before we do that, though, we need to put some adhesive. We need to layer this. So I am going to be very mindful of where I put my adhesive. Now, this area is inside, right? So I'm actually going to put some adhesive there, but I really want to get some of those corners. And thankfully, in the corners, there is some of that holographic coming through. And so we're able to actually put it there without worrying that it's going to be see-through. Okay, I think we got everything we need. There's a big ones in the areas that will not be shown. And we're same as always, extend your card and just center as best as you can and go for it. And that is going to be our base. And now we're going to bring these. Whoops, there you go. Still has some of that powder. So we're going to get our Christmas Yeti here. Is it Christmas Yeti? Like that. We're going to get those off, still holding, remember, because the whole thing is we need to, and we're going to center this. And just like we did with the Halloween one, we're going to put it in here. Like I explained, these are a little bit different, the measurements, and so they're not exactly aligned. Let me move this a tiny bit. Okay, it moved. Let me see if this works a little better. Try not to push them. I think that will do well. Okay, so we have our mechanism in place, and this will go there in a minute when we're done decorating. We're going to bring back our little card. We've been working with this card, all the cards, and I'll show you the other cards here in a minute. I made one for Thanksgiving, fall. I made one for, you saw the birthday one, and I made one for Easter. Okay. So there it is. There's our little card. And now we're going to go ahead and get our friend here. And I'm going to go with a darker beard this time, just so we don't delay too much. So always the lighter first, right? And then feathering back up. And then the darker one. Oops, not that one. I like I don't know how you call this dip, but I like that one better. Feathering all the way, right? And try to get these these points to kind of meet each other. That's what I'm doing here. And now feather back in the lighter one. Just like we did with the needle wagon, all the way through, right? You have to use the feathering, including the darker areas, because that's what's going to create those differentiation in colors. Okay, so we have that one. Simple beard, nothing too complicated. I'm going to create a little bit more of. Okay, and we're going to bring our nose up here, using the same colors we used before. So we had found out that this one was a little lighter, so I'm just going to go with the lighter one, right? Not, like I said, I'm leaving white that much. I'm going back with darker one and going all over like so. I'm going to bring the one in the middle, which would be this one, because we had already tried it with the other, with the Halloween one. And finally, I'm going to use this one, which is supposedly the lightest, and so. And that's how you get that difference between colors, and it's just leaving some white in it. So I already had these cut from paper, and Okay, that one there, and then I think it's called Sweetest Christmas, but don't quote me on that one. And the nose, and like I said, I like the noses on the top, and this belongs to the same designer series paper, and I'm just trying to figure out if I want it like this, and I think I want this one instead of the green. Yep, I like this one better. So we're going to put, and I told you guys, I feel that it's much better to put this the glue on the pants. It's a very colorful Christmas gnome. Okay, these will go, we have done that. The others, this goes on dimensionals. So I have here, so he's going to be drinking his mug, and I have some other gifts that we're going to put in here. I did not put glue on the layer, top layer, so we can put the gifts in peace. And there's another one there. I think I'm going to make this one, get this one a little lower, as low as it can go. And then this one will be on top like that. Kind of like that. So we'll go ahead and put the green one first, because it goes underneath. And I like this one. So I want this one on top, but higher. Let's see how that rolls. So on top, which means like that, but a little higher. Okay, there seems to be an issue here. Let me see. Okay, I made ourselves some space in there, like that. And this one will go there, like in between. Actually, I'm thinking I may put this one in here. I like that. I have a reindeer that I fussy cut from their paper that I'm going to put like there. Yeah, I like that. So we're going to glue this friend. See, this is designer series paper. I just fussy cut it. It belongs to the gnome Kindest Gnomes Sweets. And this friend is going to go like so. And we're going to bring our gnome, which is big, and we are going to put some glue dots in here. I know I put a lot of them, but I just want to make sure it sticks where it needs to be sticky. Okay, that was far too many, I think, but that's fine. Our little gnome in here. I'm just going to move, this is not ideal, but I'm just going to move a tiny bit so he's more on this side. And it doesn't matter because the gnome is going to be here, right? But I just want him to be a little bit further away from the gifts. And our gnome is going to be there. And although he does not have hands, he's going to be drinking some coffee. Yep, like so. And that's our card, right? Now we just have to glue it here. And for that we're going to use, which I had been using in the others. Oh, where did I put it? Oh, here they are. Our foam strips. I absolutely love our foam strips. We're going to do the same thing we did in the Halloween one. We'll bring our template. We're going to put it in there. So kind of there. So we know where to put the foam strips, right? Just super simple. I'm going to get, oh, there was one that was already used. But I'm going to get the big one. And we're going to go ahead and put it in there and cut. And I just realized that it took the glue, the backing of this one, and I'm going to bring this one here. That's because I didn't put the Post-it tape on it. Okay. Now we're going to use the most important pieces is for the sides, really. So that one will fit there perfectly. That's good news. Let's bring another piece and we'll calculate. That one fits there perfectly. These other two pieces are a bit smaller, so we want them to fit, but we want them to leave us some space for the wheel to turn. And there we go. Okay, I love these foam strips so much better than the other options in the market, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, like I mentioned with the other one, they are thicker than the regular one that we've seen people using, and so because they're thicker, you just need one strip of it. You don't need two of them, and that just makes it so much simpler. Now the other piece, and I'm going to extend this because it makes it easier for me to see. I'm going to use that Is It Christmas Yeti just because it's right there, and I'm going to use that to guide me. So center here, I just need to move a tiny bit on this side. And there you go. Whoops. Means our little friend here needs a little bit more blue. Okay, that is our card. I have some bling bling, of course, because we always need some of that. And I'm going to use some of these red ones just because they really, really sparkle. And I'm going to put one there. There we go. One up here. And I'm going to put I'm going to keep them all red in here. There we go. I absolutely love them. Love these. These are the red and green adhesive back gems, and they are part of our mini catalog. Glorious. Let me bring the others. So we have a total set of 5 cards. I chose you the birthday one. Here is our Christmas one. There it goes. Super, super cute. I have the Easter one. This is using some retired designer series paper and stamp sets. Super cute. We have the Thanksgiving one. Oh my God, isn't that gorgeous? And finally, our Halloween one. So, gnomes for all the seasons, right? I absolutely love this. Let me move them all in. They are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I think that the Give It a Whirl is just a phenomenal way to play, to create interactive cards. And I think that the gnomes are just perfect to create this variation for every season, right? Beautiful. Let me come back up here. There I am. Thank you for being here with me. It's a video on the longer side, but I think it was worth it. We saw a little bit of the blending, the colors we use, other techniques. I rarely ever include that in my general videos. So I hope that you like this. I think the cards are gorgeous. If you have any doubts or concerns, please let me know. I will, get back to you pretty quickly. My email is maria@mariascraftingcorner.com, and I can help you with any doubts you have. I will have all the measurements included in the blog post, although there's not a whole lot of it really, right? It's really dies what we're using and a couple of layers into it. And I hope you like all the tips and all the little templates I created for the Give It a Whirl. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. You know how much it helps us here on YouTube. And if you like the general content of the channel, please subscribe to it and hit that notification bell so you know when I am going live or uploading videos. It was my pleasure to be with you today. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.